Okay, we're ready to go. Hello, I'm Fred Roberts, and this we have got a really interesting talk today, and I've got to tell you that it's interesting because the individual that's going to be talking to you, Scott from BC or British Columbia, whatever you want to call it, he has a product that he handles and sells that's been around for years and years and years, and it's you know what? I live in a log home, and I remember when they were bringing it out and they were working with those tools. I told myself, I said, you know what? I might could use that stuff. And I'm not even good with an electric drill or anything. But the thing is, log homes, they use a lot of the same tools that they've used for years and years and years. And it's really interesting. So anyway, I'm Fred Roberts. And Scott, if you'd introduce yourself, and then we'll let Tony introduce herself. There's three of us on here, and if we don't sound like we make sense, it's probably because we don't. So anyway, Scott, if you would,
Thanks, Fred. Yeah, I'm Scott Everall. My wife and I own Log Building Tools, LogBuildingTools.ca, which was formerly known in the building community as Magard Ventures. We were fortunate enough to take over the business from its founder, and it's been in continuous operation. This will be the 32nd year that we've
wow.
been able to. Oh, it's been fantastic. I've never worked in a trade that has such a tight community as the log and timber builders. When somebody says they know somebody, they mean they literally may have been to their house for coffee in a completely different country.
Well, you're exactly now. Where exactly are you at? And I'm sorry, I missed that. Where exactly is your company? Are y'all based out of?
We're located in Prince George, BC.
Wow. Okay, great.
It actually sets us up pretty good for serving clients all over the place. We got quite a log building market here close to home, and
Oh,
then
sure.
all over the place.
When you talk about log homes, you gotta, I mean, of course, Canada, or is it the upper 14 or the upper 13? I always get that mixed up because y'all call us the lower 48. And of course, we're fixing to talk to Tony there, and she's out somewhere out east or west, depending on where on the planet you're standing. So let me get Tony to introduce herself real quick, and then we'll come back to you, Scott. Go ahead, Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony and editor of the Log Building News, and interested to see what Scott's got to talk to us about. And I'm from New Zealand, which most maps weren't actually not even on. So we're just a really little country. I think we've got like 5 million people. Not that big, but yeah, um, just at the bottom of the crater, I think, is where New Zealand is.
The bottom of the what?
Bottom of the crater.
The
I,
crater.
yeah, I don't know.
I'll ask the question to that later, I guess. I won't forget. But anyway, all right, Scott, we want you to tell, let's say that me and Tony walked into your business or we pulled you up online, okay? Because that's how everybody does everything on the computer nowadays. I mean, it's pretty amazing. But if we walked in there, or if we had you on the computer and we said, "Hey, Scott, what tools do you handle? And can you tell me when you tell me which tools they are, can you tell me what type of what they're used for, or what's your big seller, or what are most people contacting you about?"
So we get contacted. The name would suggest log building tools. Of course, the log building crowd, full homes, guys building accent pieces. But honestly, Fred, we get contacted by folks building stuff out of wood, of all anything unique that you could think of. Like I said, we deal with folks building full multi-million dollar houses. We deal with a lot of off-grid folks that are building their own home to live in. We get heavy into the chainsaw milling crowd, chainsaw carvers, And then we touch into the industrial and commercial market for applications that have nothing to do with log building at all. So basically, we could set you up if you came here with every tool that you'd need to build your own house, or if you just wanted enough tools to enjoy it as a hobby, we cover everybody.
Now, of course, I see the www log. What does it say? Log builders. Your head's in the way. Move to the right. No, that's the left. Wait a minute. All right, LogBuildingTools.ca, correct? Is if we wanted to get hold of you, that's where we would go, right?
That's that's the best place. Yep. And we're still running the business the same way the founder did. If you call the number, you get a real person, which is
Wow.
always. You may have the pleasure of talking to my wife, but you'll get me. And we do that for everybody. We even we got it set up on WhatsApp, so we've talked to people all over the world, different countries, different times, help them get the tools that they need.
You know what? One of the cool things about log homes is the fact that you can, I mean, this is maybe an old word, but the word do it yourself or whatever, you can do that. I remember carrying one of them logs when they were building my log home over my shoulder. And you look at me and you go, that guy couldn't carry a twig, much less a log. But you take a log that's been treated right and so on and so forth. And the tools, of course, they've got everything. I pulled up a site with uh, your type of tools on it, and I was pretty amazed at what all is there. What do you think is your number one seller or sellers? Let me put it that way.
I'd say the number one thing that we go through, and they usually go in packages, is going to be all of our auger bits. Scribes are a big one.
Right,
Of course, the timber framing chisels. You can tell because there's a lot of opportunity here in Canada, three or four different locations where you could take a course on log and timber building. And
right.
you can tell when one of those folks is taking that initiative because they'll get in touch and the set of tools is usually quite similar every time.
So, but you'll ship anywhere in the world, wouldn't you? Or
Yeah, anywhere. We've shipped I mean we've shipped stuff all the way to almost pretty well every state in the United States, all across Canada, Japan, into Europe.
really?
We shipped a couple weeks ago one of our log peeling discs to a company down in the Philippines somewhere. They're making playground equipment with it.
Wow, wow,
So
wow. That's
it's
pretty
what
cool.
now, I mean, a lot of emails I receive have been run through Google Translate. So really we can help anybody anywhere. It's kind of fun. It's the best part has been meeting the people. It's probably the most interesting group of people, clientele that I've ever done in my career.
It log home people. The word is the word shouldn't be log home people are different. The word should be log home people are normal. And that's the truth.
Everyone else is.
Yeah, yeah, just out there. But uh,
But they're just, they're doing it. A lot of guys that come here, they're doing it for they have a true passion for their craft. I mean, I've had fellas show up here where they have everything they own and every tool they own in the back of their pickup truck, and they're traveling from job to job. I mean, I've never run into a group of plumbers that do that with any
uh,
enthusiasm. That's
yeah,
just been a nice change.
the uh, something that you said a while ago, Scott, really hit home with me because I see it on a regular basis, and that is you said we still talk to people. We still talk to people, and that's pretty cool. In a world that's gone, for a lack of terms, AI or whatever the case, you can do AI log homes, but I got to tell you, log home people are just normal people, and they've got a passion, and they like mass timber, and they like the direction it goes,
Yeah.
and so uh, you said you were. I asked you a while ago what was your. You told me your most common seller, but after that, what do you normally see going out the door?
I'd say it's something that we ship regularly. Of course, our peeling disc that's proprietary to us, we send out a lot of those. Cannon bar for sure as is a huge line for us that brings a lot of people in. And sometimes, Fred, there'll be things in the shop when I'm putting orders together. My wife will send me one of the orders, and I'll look and I go, you know what? It's been so long, I almost forgot that we had that. Uh, but it fits a purpose. So some of these
Right.
things we don't sell a lot of them every day, but they always go. And I think that kind of lends it. I'm still learning that, and I can only imagine when you get all these guys together for the conferences that you hold, nobody builds the same thing the same way. They're all building a log or a timber frame, but they all have a different way of doing it. So some of the tools that one guy uses, another guy go, nah, I never touched that thing. And then some of the things that we're bringing back, they were offered long ago, and then they kind of fell by the wayside. We're
Right.
manufacturing log dogs and log cleats here again. I'm getting my first shipment of our custom 5 pound draw knives back in stock. Those were a really popular item. I mean, Maurice before me made dozens and dozens of them, and it just took us a while to bring them back into style.
Yeah. The it's interesting. You hear different terms in the log home business or log. You might as well say log structure because they're not just log homes. There's big stores, there's big buildings, and so on and so forth that are made out of mass timber logs type of issue and but the draw knife is what you're talking about. You see, people will say, "Well, I got a hand hewn home," and I'll look at it, but you got to look at it real close because it may be handmade, hand hewn, or it may be a milled log home that's hand hewn. So
For sure.
I see all over. I see that all over the place, and
We went on a real stretch last spring where I had never sold so many ads at one batch, and it just happened to be guys finding a market for it. Everybody wanted a mantle, fancy restaurants wanted that hand-hewn look, so every accent piece they were making, all rough cut, and then they just had a guys out there roughing them up to give it that look that it was, something that looked like it was made 100 years ago.
you know, one of the cool things, Scott, and one of the cool things about what you do in your business, and you actually said it a while ago. You said there's not they're all different. Every log home, I don't care if it's one that a person's been making the same style log home for 30 years. It's different. Every one of them is going to be different. And thank goodness that the tools that you're making that these people use to build these things, those things are pretty standard. They've got to be, there's some are better than others. And I'm sure that you've got the expertise that when somebody calls you, you can help them or describe what possibly they may need or what they're going to use.
I think it's been one of the best parts is guys coming to us kind of describing something they're looking for. We might not necessarily have it, but then we got to go on the adventure of either remanufacturing it or bringing it back to life or modifying
Right.
something that we have, because sometimes guys come up with really good ideas. They say like, we're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
do this, but the tool doesn't quite do it. And I'm a sucker for that. And I said, well, let's figure it out.
Do you have the ability to try to design or build those custom tools like that?
Yeah, so my background before this was more in heavy industry. I'm a machinist by trade. So
There you go.
when we got into it, that part of it appeals to me quite a bit. We have access to fabrication and machine facilities and stuff like that. So um, just, the way that everyone's business has changed, you look at a tool that was made, they say, well, man, they made this thing 200 years ago. It should be easy to make it now. It's easy to make it, and then there's make it economically, so it became a whole elaborate structure to learn and figure out. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, that that's pretty cool. When you think about it, what I mean, this is something that's there's actually a house 2 hours, not 2 hours, excuse me, about 45 minutes from here that is made out of petrified wood. I classify it as the oldest log home I've ever seen in my life. But and what tools did they have when they made that house?
Yeah, and how do they do it? The amount of time that goes into this stuff. There was a gentleman last spring. He called me up, and we don't sell a lot of them, but we always carry them. Proper shake fro, nice forged shake fro. It's got a hickory handle, And he calls me up, he bought it. And I said, okay. I never asked him too much what he's doing with it. And he called me back and says, I need a replacement handle. I said, you'd be the only guy that's ever bought a replacement handle from me. What did you do? He split 4 foot cedar, like cordwood,
Right.
hand split all that with that shake fro and made a round house. He mixed the mortar. They made his own mortar and moss and packed it all between these cedar blocks that he hand split. And he made a whole house out of it, lives in it.
Wow.
You're
Wow.
like, phew, man, dedication.
Yeah, more than me. Tony, you got something you want to ask this expert? This guy is the real deal. You got
I'm
it.
like,
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't know if I'd take claim to that. The guy before me was the real deal. I'm doing my best to keep up here.
Well, I think you're probably doing pretty good. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's just amazing how in this day and age where everything is, so ticky-tacky, all the houses look the same, but we've still got our log homes that are all different. And you need specialized tools. So it is really good to know that there is still people out there that are making these hand tools that we need that go back hundreds of years. So I think yeah, just keep up the good work with bringing the old school back
Oh
I
yeah.
feel
and
like
keeping the old school here.
And I feel like the opportunity for it going forward is, I mean, it grows. It doesn't seem to be shrinking. I mean, there's more and more people, especially younger people that we talk to all the time that are drawn to it because it maybe gives them an affordable option to build a home. And sometimes I'll just look it up out of curiosity. If I send a whole timber framing package of tools and it shows up as an apartment in Toronto, well, I phone that guy like, what are you doing with these? I mean, you don't live anywhere near a tree, and sometimes it's just be a guy saying, "Hey, man, like I just feel like I need to do something to provide that fulfillment in my life. I got to build something for myself. I feel like I was meant to do that." And if you're stuck behind a computer or something all day, maybe that's not doing it for you.
Mm.
You know what? You cannot buy an AI log peeler.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's every guy I talk to, they always say, "Man, we're having a hard time finding guys to work for us." And then they say they start peeling logs, and then by the end of the day, we never seen that guy ever again.
Oh, the heck. You need to get him an AI log peeler.
Yeah, yeah, I get him a peeling disc, set him in the right direction.
There you go. There you go. Well,
Yeah, well, I
anyway,
I peeled a lot of my own logs, and yeah, I didn't want to go back after the first day, but unfortunately, I had to keep going.
I feel like I seen some of these guys peel logs, and you go, "Man, I don't even know how to peel a log." Like they are out there, they are a machine. That's hard work.
what brands do you carry as far as your chainsaw equipment, your peelers, your what do
So
you
we're running, of course, for the chainsaw bars. We're aligned with Canon, and then in conjunction with that, all the Granberg mill product. We'll carry Robert Sorby, Henry Taylor, a bar specialty tool, the hand forged chisels, and their line of draw knives and other select tools is a good option for us. One that brings a lot of people to us. I'd put it out on a limb to say we're the largest stocking distributor of auger bits in at least in Western Canada for
oh
sure.
really?
Wood Owl, the smooth bore, the tri-cut smooth, ultra smooth Wood Owl. We stock their full line, and then another one that brings a lot of interesting folks to us would be our timber augers. We used to carry, I wish we still did, before he unfortunately passed, the gentleman that made Northwest augers. We've replaced that with some other product and manufacturing custom extensions as long as you want them. So that brings in a lot of folks. And then Makita Power Tools. We stick with
Right.
Makita Power Tools, and those would be kind of our primary brands. A lot of them go off into the weeds of more specialty niche stuff that's not as recognizable, but it's the small things that bring in the people. Our chalk line pins, Tajima, just a simple little item, and it keeps people coming back, and then they decide they need more and more every time.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. If Tony needed to order something, what would be the process in which to order one of your products? What would Tony have to do?
I always
Go
tell people, I always tell
ahead.
people, I always
Go
tell
ahead.
folks the same way. One, we want you to do what's most convenient and comfortable for you to do. If you place your order through our website, it gives you an option to securely provide all your details, and you can write us a note. We'll estimate the shipping if that's a concern for you. You can call us anytime. My email's on the website, checked all the time. And more often than not, especially if it's something to go over to New Zealand, which we did this week actually, shipped an order to New Zealand. Um, we'll get in touch. We always get in touch, especially if they're folks from afar. I used to do every single order. Every single order, I would make an effort to call the number on the order. Now I don't have the capacity for that. But if it's unique stuff, oftentimes you don't have to worry about contacting me, as I'll get back to you.
Oh, good. Good. Now, did you send out whatever did you send it to Tony?
I know. I'd have to look up the name. It's a contractor, and whatever they're doing, I don't envy him because he's bought quite a few Osborne brushes off of me. So whatever they're doing is refinishing, and that is also not for the faint of heart.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be interested to know who it is.
Well, it may be over there taking your business over there, Tony. You might want to find out. All right, we're going to have to finish up here. And so, Tony, did we get your location and everything a while ago?
Yeah, we came to the conclusion that I was in New Zealand in Palmerston North at the bottom of the crater.
Wait a minute. You're at the bottom of the crater, but how do you say that other word in front of the crater?
The bottom?
No, above that. Ponasol or something or other.
Palmerston North.
Palmerston North.
Yeah, yeah.
You know where that is, Scott?
No, I take it you never been there either, Fred? I don't
No,
know where that is.
I've been to BC, but I hadn't been to. Uh, of course, Tony's never invited me, so I'll wait for the invite, and then
I'm
I'll.
gonna I'm gonna guess that is warmer there than it is here.
At the moment we're in our autumn and it's mild. But yeah, so we Palmerston North is the bottom of the North Island. So we've got two islands in New Zealand. We've got the South Island and we've got the North Island. I'm actually going to the South Island next week we've got a log building course that we do, and that's in full swing at the moment. So I'll get to go meet the students next week and give them their certificates.
That's awesome.
At
Now, are you going to mention that they can order? Move your head there real quick. Move your head. No, not yet. You going to tell them they can order their tools from LogBuildingTools.ca?
Yeah. I will be passing that on to
There
those.
you go. There you go.
You-
You got to send her some business cards.
Yeah, appreciate
All
that.
right. Well, we're closing out. So, Scott, what do you want to say?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to meeting more and more of the builders that are members of the association, and just in general, it's been awesome so far. I've never been invited to stop in and visit so many people if I happen to be in the area as I have dealing with all these log building folks. So yeah, I just look forward to continuing on.
Yeah, that's great. That's log on people. That's log. They're a special group, and you meet that criteria, and uh, all I can tell you is thank you for your participation. Thank you for what you do. You've got a craft and a skill there that is very much needed. You put a lot of smiles on people's faces, and people get to, you know what? People get to stand back and look and see what they did, and that makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. So that being said, I guess it's about time for us to roll out. Is there anything else? Anybody got to say anything? Anybody know where I'm from?
Where are you from,
Check.
Fred?
Wait a minute. Scott didn't even know. You didn't know where I was from?
Texas, you said?
Okay. You
That's
see
a
the
big.
saddle and the holster in the back?
It's a big state, though. They got a couple of cities in Texas, so I wasn't sure which one.
Well, I'm in Fayetteville, population 244.
See, that sounds like the right amount of people.
It is
It's
the
all
right.
right.
It's the right size. But anyway, well, all right. We're gonna sign off. And can you think of anything else to say? And thank you very much, Scott and Tony. And I guess we'll see you again pretty soon. And
Tony, I had to look this up because it's going to bug me if I don't tell you. You know this guy? Lane Helmrich. Does that sound familiar?
But yeah, that does sound very familiar.
uh-oh.
Yeah, that yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Thanks for that. He does a lot of our log building work with natural log homes.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Small
Awesome.
world. Small.
We just proved how small the world is.
Isn't that
That's
the
right.
truth?
Right. I know just like Fred knows everyone in his town, I know everyone in New Zealand. So
All right. Well, I'm signing off, folks. Thank
all
you
right.
very much.
All
And I
right.
look forward to seeing this on the internet. I got a call the other day from a guy who told me he watches all these YouTube things. It was pretty cool. So
Nice.
when you start making all that money from the sales you got off this thing, don't forget me and Tony, maybe a little love offering or something.
I've made a note here. All right. You guys have a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
night.
yeah. All right. We'll see y'all later and take care.
Bye-bye.